Hello YouTube, welcome to my Beauty Nation. So I did receive a comment and I have received messages about this. You guys want me to actually do demos when I apply foundation, when I'm doing a review. So I did listen. I did appreciate the feedback. And so this is what you're going to get. So this is why I'm on the screen looking ugly right now. So to begin, I'm going to go in with the Dore Forever and Ever Wear Primer. And I'm just going to put a tiny amount on the brush. And we're going to hit forehead, cheeks, and nose. And no, you do not need a lot of this. Let me just blend that out. What I like about this primer is that not only do you get SPF in it, but it does not leave an ashy cast on brown skin. And it also allows your makeup to lock in place and not move. So it will last for a number of hours. So now I'll go in with the foundation, Forever Undercover. And I do use shade 51. And I also would like to note, this is about as much as you need. This is about a pea size. So you do not need a lot of this foundation. It is a full coverage matte foundation. You need very little. So I like to work in pieces, so I just apply just a tiny amount and it spreads like nobody's business. It actually can double as a concealer because of the pigmentation that you get in coverage. I'm just taking a sponge and I will even this out. And though it may look crazy on camera, do not worry about that. I know it looks very orange, but this is a color that would work ideally for me because I have a lot of yellow in my skin. And when applying this foundation, I do go in sections because I find that it does set pretty quickly. And so I like to just do each section separately. And of course, because I'm bald, you can see where everything ends here. But we'll correct that. That's normal for any foundation I put on. I literally use that pea size to do my entire face. I'm just going to go around the edges here with this brush, just to buff the edges, or edges I don't have. As you can see, the color has adjusted because I know some people could worry. Now I'm going to go in with the Forever Undercover Concealer. And I like to just concentrate this right under the eye, just because of my darkness. I use shade 50, but I do like to add 60 in there, just because I just like the way it looks. So. And when I add in 60, I literally just put a few dots under each eye. Take a sponge and blend that up. I'm actually going to use a smaller sponge. I prefer this for the under eye, so it's easier to get in there. It's so interesting how brown skin varies in colors. Look at all these differences. Oh. Disregard the taco meat. Okay, now that I have the base applied, I'm going to apply just some highlighter, things like that, and I'll be right back. Hi guys. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Forever Undercover 24-Hour Full Coverage Foundation from Dore Beauty. And before we go any further, I would like to encourage you guys, if you have not done so already, please feel free to click down below and subscribe to this channel. I will continue to provide you with the best content that I possibly can. And since I'm reviewing that, I thought, why not review some of the Forever products that are part of the line, because that helps complete the entire look. So in addition to a review on the foundation, in this video, I'll give you a review on the concealer and also the primer that falls under the Forever umbrella. So just to be clear, the Forever Undercover Foundation, this is a foundation that is full coverage and it's a matte finish. If you happen to own Diorskin Forever Foundation, which is the newer reformulation that came out a little while ago, and it's in the frosted glass, that foundation is a medium coverage foundation that's velvet matte. So they're two completely different finishes and looks. I'd also like to note that if you do wear the Forever Foundation, this foundation shade will be completely different from that one, so they do not match. So if you wear 50 in Forever, you may wear 60 in Undercover. So with that said, I would like to just encourage you guys to definitely go to a store, definitely swatch this, sample it out, because the shades do not match at all. Also note that this foundation is advertised as a 24-hour foundation, meaning it's going to last you all day, and it also is a weightless foundation. So it's a weightless full coverage foundation, which again, as I've said in a lot of my previous reviews, this is where a lot of brands are going. They want to create foundations that are full coverage, but feels like absolutely nothing on your face, and yet your skin looks like skin, doesn't look like a mask. Also note the packaging. If you watched my Marc Jacobs video, highly recommend to check that out. The packaging on that one is very cute, millennial targeted. This foundation also is definitely a millennial targeted type of packaging. With just how convenient it is, you can just pop this in your purse, you can pop this in a bag, and you can just travel with this very easily. Also, you do need to shake this formula up. You would want to shake it, and I recommend just to shake it down so that once it's ready, you can just pour it out. But yeah, this foundation is definitely a millennial targeted product with reference to the actual packaging. It's very cute. And this is how the product looks. So let me just put a drop on my hand. And here's just a swatch. I use shade 51. In Forever, for reference, I can't actually wear Forever because I kind of fall in between shades, so I would have to combine them. But this is the first Dior formula where I actually can wear it again. When I mentioned Marc Jacobs, it's the same type of situation for me. I was so excited. This foundation also comes in 24 shades, so it is very, very color friendly. And just a few little tidbits about the foundation I wanted to incorporate in this video because I've heard other YouTubers kind of touch on this and they really don't understand it or know what they're talking about, and that's just the truth. This foundation is a very high coverage formula. When you compare it to Forever, it's going to be twice the pigment. They actually put in twice the pigments on this, and also it comes in 4 different undertones. Now you can find this with other Dior foundations, but I definitely wanted to touch on this just to help you guys out when you're trying to figure out which undertone is for you, because the numbers actually tell you what the undertone is. So for instance, I wear shade 51 in Forever. 51 is going to fall in a deeper side of the spectrum. And also, because it ends in a 1, any foundation in Dior that ends in a 1 is going to be warm. So it's going to be warm and or yellow. Any Dior foundation that ends in a 0 or ends in a 5, for instance shade 25 or shade 30, that's going to be an undertone of neutral and or beige. Anything that ends in a 2 is going to be a cool pink undertone. Anything that ends in a 3 is going to be a peach apricot type of undertone. And shade 4 is going to be someone who actually has a cool kind of rosy grayish type of undertone. These are usually people who are very fair, or they have just a bit of a unique undertone. So that would be a shade that ends in 4. So as far as the shade range, again, there's 24 shades. As far as where the deep shade range starts, I would say kind of like medium deep on the very light end, and then as far as going to the deepest, I would say it probably starts around shade 41, so you will get up to, I would say, approximately 9 shades to play with. And if you're around my skin tone, for instance, shade 50 is something that, again, it ends in a 0, so as I said a few minutes ago, anything in a 0 is neutral, so I can't wear 50 because it is neutral. Neutrals just wash me out. I look dead. So I can't wear a neutral undertone, but 51 ideally is perfect for me. And again, like I said with Forever, Forever is a foundation that is, it does run lighter, so I can't actually wear that because shade 50 in Forever is too light, but shade 50 in this foundation, Undercover, actually works, but the undertone doesn't work, so I have to go up to 51. I have used this foundation off and on since it came out. I wear a lot of different foundations, so this usually is going to be something that I would wear on a day where I know I'm going to be wearing foundation for a very long period of time. When I want a matte type of finish, this is when I'm going to wear this. This is specifically a matte foundation. It photographs well, it wears well, it lasts for a number of hours. The longest I've worn this was probably 11, maybe 12 hours, and no issues whatsoever. So this foundation is definitely a winner as far as a matte full coverage foundation. I have normal skin, so I wear all different types of foundations just depending on where I'm going, what my mood is, and being that my mood does vary a lot. This particular foundation is something that I would wear sporadically. So I will say that this is a good foundation. So if you are someone that needs full coverage, if you like to be matte, 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 then I highly recommend this foundation. However, if you're going to use this foundation, I would recommend pairing it with a good primer just to prolong the wear so that the oil doesn't start to shine through. If you're someone who is combination to oily or just a true oily skin type. This particular primer, can be used by any skin type. However, it is great for oily complexions. So if you happen to be, or oily skin types rather. So if you do have an oilier skin type, I recommend to actually pair these two. And again, as far as just a quick review on the primer lasts It keeps the foundation true. There's no issues as far as, because it does have SPF 20 in it, it does go on kind of white when you put it on, but as soon as you brush it in or just rub it into the skin, it goes away. There's no ashy cast. I have no issues at all with this primer. I mean, that's really all I have to say about it. I mean, it's a good primer. And also remember, like the foundation, you want to shake this up, shake both of them up. And yeah, decent primer. Now the concealers. I have been using these concealers for a while, and actually I'm going to have to replenish soon. I love these concealers. Now I love the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I've been singing the praises of that since it came out. I love this concealer, but this concealer is a different take in that it's going to be more of a matte, tarte, Shape Tape-esque finish or Makeup Revolution-esque finish. So when it locks into place, it's not going anywhere. It's a beautiful, beautiful concealer. As long as I set this with powder, and it goes for any concealer because I have natural creasing under my eyes. I don't have wrinkles or anything. I just have natural creases. I've had them since I was a child. And as long as I put powder under my eyes, I have no issues with the actual product creasing. Like I said, I use 2 shades. I use shade 50 and 60. This concealer also does come in 10 different shades, so you do get a variety of options. Out of all 3 of these products, if I'm looking for a foundation that's matte, I would recommend this, but the concealer is something that I could use daily. I love this concealer, huge fan of it. So yeah, that's all I got, guys. To sum it up, the Forever line, it's a really good line for someone who happens to have very oily skin, combination skin, or if you're somebody like me who has normal skin but you just like to play around with different types of makeup. This foundation, I'm a fan of it. One, because it does offer, this is the widest range I believe Dore has ever had in foundations, and so that's exciting. So for one, also, this is a foundation that I actually can wear on my skin just because the other formulas in the past I can't actually wear only because of the shade. The shades are more neutral and it just doesn't work for me. But yeah, the foundation overall, it's a good foundation. The concealer, like I said, the bomb. Big fan of the concealer, and like I said, I have to replenish on both of these very soon. And the primer, just a good standard primer. I believe this is the only primer that Dore has in their range because it can work for any type of skin. Of course, it's great for someone who is more on the oily side. This is why this is a good pairing. If you were to pair these two together, it would make for a very good relationship. Definitely feel free to comment below and let me know what you think. Have you tried the new foundation? Have you tried the Forever line in general? Hopefully I was helpful, just because I wanted to add a few little tidbits of things in there, just some background things just to help you guys shop, you know, if you happen to be interested in Dore makeup. So anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with a whole lot more, guys. Bye.